Okay, folks, we have Coach Kim Caldwell, Jewel Spear, and Talasia Cooper up here. We're going to open up with a statement from Coach, and then we'll go to some questions for the student athletes, and then we'll come back with Coach. If you have a question, please raise your hand. But, Coach, if you don't mind, an opening statement, please.
I thought we played really, really hard, probably the hardest we've played all year, which is what we needed. And I thought we played as a team, which is something we've really been working on. And hats off to the Ohio State fan base. It was loud in there for a period of time, and I thought we did a really good job. Our huddles were tight. We did a really good job of playing through the runs, which is something we talked about.
Okay, we'll open up the floor for questions for the student athletes. Please.
We have our report for both Julie and Talasia. Just what does it mean to be in the Sweet 16 this year?
It's great. We've been working hard to get here all year. We put in the work day in and day out, and this is something we wanted.
Yeah, I say it means a lot for this program and the people that are here right now. With Coach Kim coming in for her first year and the people that stayed and the transfers that came, it just talks a lot about the culture that we established on day one and that everybody's playing a part in what we're doing right now.
Jewel, what does it say about this group to come back after that Ohio State 16-0 run and kind of punch right back?
Yeah, we knew that they were going to go on a run. They're a really good team. We went on our run. They went on their run. But we just stuck together. Our huddles were very tight. We stayed calm. It was very loud in there, so we needed each other, and we had each other's back.
Jewel, Talasia, and Samara both played over 30 minutes tonight. What do you think it says about them that they're able to play at such a high level for so long?
Yeah, I think it just says, like, they're willing to do whatever it takes for the team. And Coop was out there. She had 7 steals, which is crazy. So she was playing both sides of the court. And then Sam was out there making plays as well. So it just says that our conditioning is really good as well.
Brianna McKay, Columbus Dispatch. In that 16-0 run for Ohio State, Jelani Cambridge was kind of leading the way. What did you guys kind of do defensively to kind of stop her and contain her for the rest of the game?
Yeah, just try and guard her as a team. We know she's a really good player that likes to get downhill. So we were trying to get in our gaps better and force her to make passes and other people to score.
Any other questions for the student athletes? And I will check on the Zoom if there's anyone there. Michael, anyone that you see? Maria, you have the mic.
Thank you. Maria Cornelius, 247 Sports, Tennessee, for both Jewel and Talasia. Your points off turnovers are 37-15. That is an incredibly high number to double them up, or actually more than double them up. What fueled the defense tonight? Y'all, it looked like it was very inspired out there.
Just playing our game, getting up and pressuring, just knowing rotating in the back, talking on defense, doing the little things.
Yeah, I thought we were, like Taylor said, I thought we were very aggressive in our press up front, and our back line rotated up and got a lot of steals. And also when we turned over the ball, we made sure that they couldn't score. So I think it speaks a lot to our next play mentality. When we turned it over, we were thinking of the next play.
Any other questions for the student athletes? If not, ladies, congratulations, and you can head back to the locker room.
Thank you.
Oh, we can keep these? Yep. Folks, we'll open up the floor for questions for Coach Caldwell. Right down there on the right.
Kim, just at what point this season did you think that this team was going to be capable of making a Sweet 16 run?
I think there was a period of time right there when we had that 3-game home stretch, maybe 4-game home stretch, where we were playing really well. And then again, we all know what kind of happened at the back half of the season. But at that point in time, I knew we could do it. That was something we talked about from the very beginning, is we wanted to make it to the Sweet 16.
Felt like when Ohio State went on that 16-0 run, it was kind of some of the issues from earlier in the year when you get a lead and kind of instantly lose it. What does it say about this team that was not the case this time, that they punched back after that run?
I think that we're growing. I think we're playing as a team. We talked about that. We knew it was going to happen. And we've been through that a lot. We've been through it countless other games. And I told them that I don't want to have to bail them out with timeouts. I want them to be able to just work through it. I did not really realize it was 16-0. I probably should have called a timeout. But they did a good job. I mean, I think we followed it with maybe a 14-0 run.
Hey, Kylie Ashton, TVC News. Yesterday you talked about how you couldn't just wait around for them to miss shots, that you had to guard. How did that mindset help you get this win today?
Yeah, I thought it was great early. I thought towards the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, we did give them some uncontested looks, specifically when they went on their run, and then a little bit towards the end of the game. So we could have kind of cleaned that up a little bit better.
Maria, on Zoom, you want to ask a question, please?
Yes, Coach, Ruby Whitehorn, she's been maybe a little bit quiet the last several games, but she just was, electric for y'all tonight. 14 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, just 1 turnover. Just how key was Ruby in this game?
Yeah, I think Ruby's locked in. She really wants to win. She's a player that's never been to the tournament before, so she's excited to be here. She played so hard tonight. I think she was the hardest playing player on the floor, which is huge. We need that from her every single night.
Following up on that run, it came right after you went on a 14-0 run yourself. Does that make it more difficult to kind of, get back to net neutral when you reach that high and then that low right after? Like, how do you approach the huddle when you did call that timeout to try to get things back on track?
I didn't have to really say anything, and that's when our team is the best. And we've talked about it all year. They had it handled. They had it handled. I didn't even need to be here today. I didn't. They had it handled at halftime. They had it handled in the timeouts before I got there. They were saying things before I said it. I mean, there were countless times that I was getting ready to say something, and they already said it. So they kind of led themselves, which is big.
What are the emotions just with bringing this program back to the Sweet 16 in your first year as head coach?
I'm happy for them. I'm happy to see how excited they are. I guess at some point in time, I told them if we make it to the Sweet 16, they can wear whatever shoes they want, and they remembered that. I mean, they were telling me that when there was still time on the clock. And so just to see how excited they are and see what it means to them is nice.
Yeah, the questioner online had the question to the players. You guys forced 23 turnovers. I believe, not sure, I don't have the box score in front of me, but one of the players had 7 steals.
Yeah.
Talasia Cooper, 7 steals. Their point guard had 8 turnovers herself. Just your thought on getting this game at a pace and at a kind of a frenetic frenzy to where mistakes were going to happen. I mean, is that kind of what you wanted to have happen, I suppose?
No, absolutely. We wanted to turn the pressure up, and we talked too. I thought we did a really good job of playing through our mistakes. We had a couple possessions where we turned it over and we got it right back. We turned it over and we got back and contested a shot at the rim and got the rebound. We would miss a layup and then we would go get the rebound. And so we knew it was going to be a kind of a game of mistakes. Anytime you have two teams that press and pressure and there's a lot of possessions, you're going to have some empty ones. And it's just making sure that the other team doesn't capitalize off of it.
They fought so hard to get the lead, went ahead by 1 point, and 8 seconds later, it was Cooper hit a 3 8 seconds later, and you guys go back up and you never trail again. Just for them to have worked so hard to get the lead and then you grab it right back, that's got to be a little bit of a deflation for them and a big shot for you guys.
Yeah, I think that, again, when you have teams that go on runs, you know that they're going to take a lead. We talked about it at halftime. We knew that we were up by 5. I told them that they were going to take another lead. I told them that the crowd was going to get into it, and so we just had to play through it.
The 3 in the corner by Whitehorn to beat the shot clock, that felt like that was it. At that moment, it was probably, they weren't coming back probably from that.
Yeah, and we did a really good job. I think 2 weeks ago, we would have shot a shot at 28 seconds on the shot clock, and it probably wouldn't have been a good one. So I thought we had 2 buzzer beaters that were the one more pass with the shot clock violation. That means we're just playing offense together for longer, which is something we really spent the break working on.
Samara Carpenter, TVC News. Hollingshed and Spearman both hustling and applying a lot of pressure tonight in the paint. How has their contribution to that helped the team's success tonight?
I thought Jill played great. I think Z played great too. And Z, we kind of always get that from Z, but Jill really stepped up. She was being so aggressive early in the game, and so she helped us realize that we could go inside. And Z hit some big buckets for us late to kind of seal the deal as well.
Coach, you mentioned the crowd a couple times. You got a chance to coach against this team, see the way that they play. What are kind of your impressions of this Ohio State program and where they can be this obviously second straight year where they fell short of the Sweet 16 and obviously their aspirations are to come back and get there eventually?
Yeah, I mean, it's a stacked roster, a great program, great fan base. I don't particularly want to come back. It's really, really close to my hometown, so that was cool. A lot of familiar faces for me, which I appreciate. Everyone that traveled to watch us, our coaching staff is all kind of from this region, Cincinnati, Ohio, West Virginia. So it was nice to see some familiar faces in the stands as well.
Coach, in the second half, they kind of went for a shorter lineup, Ohio State. How did you guys kind of capitalize on that, especially in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think we wore them down, and I think towards the end, they just didn't have gas to keep us in front of them.
Going to head back to the Zoom. Maria, another question?
Coach, two quick questions. One, you won the rebound battle and second chance points 21-6. That is a lopsided stat in your favor. Just talk about how aggressive y'all were on the offensive glass, and then second part, this team has been up and down. I mean, they've had a lot of adversity. They've had some big wins. I know you're not done yet, but how proud are you of this team to get to this point right now?
I'm incredibly proud of this team, and I'm proud of our rebounding effort. It takes rebounds to win in March, and we know that, and we have to continue to do that.
Any other questions? If not, Coach, it's been a pleasure hosting you and your team. All the best in regionals.
Thank you.
Folks, we're going to open it up right off the bat. Questions for our student athletes, just raise your hand. Thomas, go ahead, please.
Thanks for the time. Thomas Costello, Lane Grant. Madison Taylor, Ohio State, you go on a 16-point run there in the third quarter. What kind of happened after that? What did you see happen after that?
TT, you go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is a game of runs. They went on their runs, we went on our runs, but I don't think we couldn't keep the momentum going. We couldn't lock in and focus after that. So it was a great effort to get that run, but we couldn't sustain it for the rest of the game.
And can you also just talk about the just kind of conditioning and the intensity of Tennessee's attack all night?
Yeah, they're a very athletic team. They pressure the ball really well, and they just have a lot of players that are athletic coming off the bench. So credit to them for them locking on their game plan and pressuring us, but we had to do a better job taking care of the ball and not having so many turnovers.
Okay, Columbus Dispatch. This is usually the type of game I know you guys like, fast-paced and going. And you mentioned the pressure that Tennessee had. What do you think worked so well with their pressure to cause 23 turnovers for you guys?
Honestly, I think just on our part, we just didn't take care of the ball. We just didn't execute what we've been practicing for the past couple of days. Honestly, the whole year, I think we just didn't take care of the ball.
And obviously, they were capitalizing on three-pointers as well. Can you just talk about the strategy of trying to run them off the line? What were you just trying to do to stop them from beyond the arc?
Yeah, I mean, they were shooting pretty well tonight, and we just tried to do our best to contest as much as we could, but they were hitting today, so this is what happened.
Bobby Warbett, Buckeye Sports Bulletin. Obviously, you guys have that run in the third quarter to retake the lead there. Was there sort of a letdown, I guess, when you guys jumped back in front, like kind of were finally back in the game and got the lead again, and then they go back on that run to kind of take you guys out of it again? Was there a bit of a letdown there?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like all season we've been doing that. Like, we don't start off the game really well, and then we catch back up, and then once we catch back up, we get comfortable, and then we get back down or something like that. So this has been a common theme, I think, that I've seen throughout the year, and unfortunately it happened today as well. So.
Anything else for the student athletes? No? Ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we'll open up the floor for questions for Coach McGuff.
To get started, you guys got beat up on the offensive boards, and they had 21 points off second chance. You don't have Asia Petty in the majority of the second half. Can you talk about that decision to keep her on the bench?
Yeah, we were just going with the lineup that we thought was most efficient in taking care of the ball because we were turning it over so much. And I think when Ebony was in there, she was actually rebounding pretty well. So, you know, I think just when you look at the stats and you see 27 points or 37 points off turnovers and 21 second chance points, you're not really giving yourself a chance to win. And so credit Tennessee. I thought they played really well, and they deserved to win today.
You mentioned you felt the lineups you felt was going to win. Can you just talk about in the fourth quarter what you were looking for? There was a point where Cody was on the bench, a point where Jelani were on the bench. Just what were you looking for with the substitutions?
Yeah, we were trying to get them a little bit of rest to try to get to a strong finish because they were playing really hard, and just the nature of the game, they were exerting a lot of energy. And so we knew we were going to have to rest them a little more than maybe we normally would. But still, Cody, you know, she played just about 35 minutes, and Jelani 33. So that's about where we wanted them today based on what we knew the game would be.
When it came to the turnovers, do you think it was Tennessee speeding the team up? Because your team is known for being very quick, but today it seemed like that quickness is turning into a lot of errant passes. What did you see?
Yeah, no, certainly they sped us up, and we didn't handle it very well. And I thought we were, you know, in the right spots, but really not making good decisions when we had to go at a little bit higher rate of speed.
You talk about the letdown too. Asked about for the players and how you get that run, you take the lead. Did you just kind of? That's when the turnovers started again.
Yeah, it's like
just complacent.
We had a stretch there where we really took care of the ball, and one, we were getting them to miss. We were rebounding and getting points in transition, and then we were breaking the press and getting good shots. But then we had just some bad turnovers there to ignite another run for them.
It's tough having a freshman point guard. What can you do to support her in moments like this when they are really, really coming after her hard and muscling her, bringing the ball up the court? And some things happen for her. What can you do to support her in those moments, I guess?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, she's obviously, Jelani's very talented. She's a great kid, and this is, one of the first times we've seen this type of pressure and pace. And, she got sped up a little bit, but, we were trying to get people around her that, just to get her making simple plays and to get everybody around her shots. And like I said, she had some great moments, but just got sped up a little bit, and it didn't really end well for us.
I know this is a difficult question to ask you 15 minutes after this game, but you're losing some very good players like Taylor and some folks. Just in your mind, the transition, last year you came through it with some great acquisitions. I guess you put yourself back in that same position again.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, as you know, whether it's pretty much any sport nowadays, that's the nature of it. And so, we are losing some, the biggest thing is we're losing some great kids. I mean, these are two of the best kids I'll ever get a chance to coach. Just really high character young women who are going to go on to do great things in life. But so hopefully we can add a few people that bring the same type of competitive character that people like Taylor and Madison have brought to this program.
Cody scored 17 points tonight, but I think she only took 3 shots in the second half. Was that something that Tennessee did specifically to sort of take her away, or I guess did you want to see her maybe shoot the ball a little more?
Yeah, we would have. We were trying to get the ball in her hands a little bit more. A couple times she got fouled, and a couple times we just didn't execute to put ourselves in position to do it.
Yesterday, Cody said she still felt like you guys haven't played your best basketball yet. I'm guessing you didn't feel like that was the best of basketball tonight. So what do you think was the hump this season of getting past that?
I think it always came down to the same thing, in that in this game, once again, this is very indicative of the season in that we had stretches that were really good, but we just didn't sustain them for close enough to 40 minutes to be, I think, at another level as a team. And so that was sort of our issue throughout the year. And it's one thing to kind of go, maybe you get in a little bit of a rut during the season, a couple games in a row, but really, like tonight was a perfect example. We started out first quarter good, second quarter not so good, and then we go on a big run in the second half to 16-0 run, and then we don't sustain it. And so that was kind of the thing that we never really found an answer to get that consistency out of the group.
Can you just talk about the frustration? There would be moments where you guys would get the steal and Tennessee would take it right back.
Yeah, I thought too is, like, to their credit, they beat us to a lot of loose balls. We were batting the ball around and they were grabbing it, and I bet that happened 5 or 6 times, and they would grab it and convert it into points. So not only did we give up too many second chance points and points off turnovers, but just loose balls. I mean, there were several times where they were getting loose balls, and in a game like this and this intensity and this much talent, of course, you got to win the 50-50 balls.
Yeah, Coach, another year of losing on the first weekend. What does this program have to do to make it back to the Sweet 16?
Yeah, I think we got to continue to evaluate where we're at, players we're bringing in, and have a chance to add to the program and make sure we add the right people.
A couple questions, Coach. Elsa, did she re-aggravate her foot injury, or did it get worse there whenever she came out?
Yeah, I think. And I haven't got a chance to talk to the trainer yet, but I think that's the case, yes.
Is there, what's the plan in the offseason for her? Is there surgery in her future? Is she just going to try to recoup, or what?
I don't know for sure yet, but the doctor's been evaluating it, and he'll make some decisions on that with her, in consultation with her and her family.
And can you talk about the impact of your seniors? Is there anything you said to them after the game? Or I know you talked about Madison and Taylor, just how the competitive character they bring to a team. Yeah. But about Ebony, about Asia, is there anything you told the team after the game?
Yeah, same thing. It's like, we've had Madison for 6 years, and Taylor for 4, and Ebony for, 4, 5, 4? Something I can't even keep track. And so they've really been a big part of what we've done. And then Asia came in, and she's a great kid, and I really enjoyed just getting to know her, getting a chance to coach her. And they're all really good kids. And we told them that one, we appreciate all that they've contributed to our program, and as they move forward, we look forward to helping support them and reach their dreams and goals and anything that we can do, and they're always welcome to come back and be around us.
Coach Kim Caldwell said she thought you guys maybe ran out of gas a little bit in the fourth quarter. Is that something you saw, and what, if anything, contributed to that?
Yeah, I mean, certainly it was a high-paced game with we expended a lot of energy throughout the game. But I think as much as anything, we were mentally tired. I thought physically we were fine, but mentally we were a little worn out and a little bit frustrated. I think like we went on a run to get the game, tied, and then I just think like the mental fatigue when we turned it over a couple times, we didn't handle that real well mentally as much as anything.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rick.